This is a special one. What I'm sitting in is a 1998 Mitsubishi Evolution V, and this car is every little bit of my childhood dream. I was one of the kids back in the day, just like probably many of you. I played a lot of Gran Turismo, and the EVO 4 and 5 rally cars were my go-to, and I don't think I could really explain what drew me to the EVO, but I can't believe I'm sitting in one right now. I mean, this is literally a childhood dream for me. This car, I had the opportunity to get it. Luckily, this car was already imported, so I didn't have to do all the legwork to get the import in. I just went to go pick it up from somebody else that had imported it. Yeah, this car has so much history. It feels like a privilege to be driving it. I know that sounds corny and lame, but it really does. And driving it is every little bit of amazing. Mitsubishi literally made the EVO. It was literally spawned to be a successful race car. So back in the 80s and the 90s, Mitsubishi was up there as one of the good rally car companies. Not the best, but they were striving to be. What they did is they made the Galant VR4, and that car was doing really well. Didn't win Mitsubishi a Constructors Championship, but it was doing well. And as the rally stages and the rally tracks were getting tighter and just a bit more technical, the Galant was too big, and they had to put basically the infamous 4G63 engine into an ordinary Lancer. And when they entered that into the rally stages, it was no more a Lancer, it was a Lancer Evolution. And that's literally how the Lancer Evolution was birthed, really as a rally car. Very much like the STI and the WRX. But the only Mitsubishi that won the Constructors Championship for the company was a 1998 EVO V, and he won it in 1998. So this car is a little bit special. For those that already know, there's a Tommy Makkinen edition, EVO 5 and EVO 6. Those are rare. EVO 5s are already rare. Tommy Makkinen editions are extremely rare. It's been amazing. I mean, you can smell the fumes. You don't have a lot of comforts in here. There's a lot of plastic. There's a lot of saving weight. This car doesn't even have windshield wiper hoses. Doesn't even have a reservoir, but I don't care. It's every little bit of a driver's vehicle. It comes with a 5-speed. Those gears, you will go through them when you're driving very quick. I'm talking about 4th gear around 40-45 miles an hour and 3,500 to 3,600 RPMs on the highway. It does it in a dramatic fashion, but it's a 4G63. As long as you take care of it, they are reliable. What about parts? What if I need parts? I've imported this car from Japan, or I got it from Japan, but what about parts? Well, you'd be glad to know, just like me, parts from the EVO 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all interchangeable. And obviously we all know that US got the EVO 7, got all the way up to the 10. And this car, as you can see, doesn't have normal EVO 5 interior. This car has EVO 9 interior, EVO 9 suspension. It's got an EVO 7 motor. It's got an EVO 10 blow-off valve. It's kind of a Frankenstein of EVO parts. And honestly, it's made me love this car even more because it's just, no matter what it is, it's full-on EVO. And it has all the generations involved in it. But in its heart and then outside of it, it's an EVO 5. It weighs just shy of 2,800 pounds. That puts it less than a Volkswagen GTI currently. That's insane. So you take that weight, you take the horsepower of 275, which Japan honestly lied about. Just like the Skyline is the same thing. They were downplayed, and people really think that stock, out of the factory, these are making 300 horsepower. So 275 horsepower on paper. Torque, 275 torque, and that's what made the EVO such a well-balanced and fast car. Greatest thing of this car, hands down, is the handling. It's insane. I mean, the handling is just out of this world, and it kind of makes me a little bit depressed because Mitsubishi was making amazing cars. It's like they forgot where they came from. It means business. I mean, this car has a giant wing and is very racer boy looking, but all of that had a reason. And, you know, I get it. I would say compare it to a Civic Type R in the fact that, yeah, it looks a little crazy, but I've learned to love it, and everything is there for a reason. I absolutely adore driving this thing. It's such a sensation when you drive it because it hits all the senses, right? So you can smell the fuel. Those vents in the hood are not for show. There's a reason they're there, and you can really, if you're really getting on it, you can see the heat sizzle coming from the vents itself. It's pretty cool. EVO shifting is notchy in general. It's always been like that. And I kind of prefer it because I'm not worried about knowing what gear I'm in. You just always know. They're known for short shifts, and you go through those gears really quick, especially in these older Evos. I'm talking about 4th gear and 40 miles an hour. So this car is literally from Japan, so 60 kilometers an hour, you're talking about 40 miles an hour roughly. But the biggest thing about driving this car is the handling. It is absolutely insane. I mean, it puts on rails. I mean, it literally is the car that drives like its own. The handling is insane. The confidence this thing gives you, it makes you understand. It's no wonder why it was such a good race car. Gears are short, but 5th gear is long, and that's what kind of takes you, allows you to even be able to drive on the highway. This is why these older cars are so special. The seats are well made. I mean, these Recaros are from an EVO 9, but they still carry, you know, the bolstering that you need to really go around these turns. You can hear that blow-off valve working. It's not just for show. I mean, it's literally doing its job. Everything in here is functional, and that's what I love. Now, why is the handling so good, right? It's the steering rack. It's absolutely insane. So, for every 1 turn of this steering wheel is equivalent to 2 turns in a normal car. People think that was the recipe that really helped Tommy Makkinen win in 1998 was how quick the steering rack was. Every downshift, like, it forces you to drive. You have to rev match when you go down. And it rewards you for every perfect shift. There's no assist, nothing. It's solely you. Oh my gosh. It's such an experience. It honestly makes you feel like you're driving on a rally stage every time you drive it. I know that's lame, that's corny, but the noises, the sensations, the torque, the throwback in your seat, it's all there. You know, when I got this, I had some doubts. I thought, this car's from 1998. Why am I trading in a 2015 for a 98? I can't name a bunch of many 98 vehicles that I would buy, especially trade in. No regrets whatsoever now. Whatever challenges this thing throws at me, I don't care. It's that special of a car. The torque is insane. And one thing with torque is you need to feel confident to go around corners, or else you're not going to have any confidence going around corners. You go through the gears so quick. 2nd, normal driving. 3rd, 4th, and I'm only going about 48 miles an hour. It's just how the gears work, and it helps you understand and just remember that this wasn't meant to be a street car initially. It was meant to be a rally car, and rally cars are all about acceleration. So daily driving this thing, this isn't my daily. I don't recommend this car as a daily. This is kind of my weekend car, and I take it to car shows and let the car do the talking. But when I do drive it, it feels special every time. There are some downsides to that. Gas mileage is bad. You're talking about roughly 19 to 20 miles a gallon highway. You will regularly be at a gas station if you own one of these. You can kind of stretch it a little bit if you go easy on the turbo, but why would you do that? Why do you want to go easy on an Evo? It doesn't want you to go. I gotta admit, it is cool to see people's reactions when I'm sitting on the right-hand drive side of the car. You know, if you didn't notice, I'm sitting on the other side. I've seen people literally stop and reverse in the middle of the highway. I've seen people put their windows down and start like asking questions. It's insane. And it does feel special to have, let alone just a right-hand drive car. But it feels even more special for those people that really know what this is. A lot of people are going to think, ironically enough, that this is an old Subaru. And I can understand that. I don't get mad at that. Subaru and Mitsubishi were really going at it. They were copying, and they were making sure that they got the best out of their cars. Downforce was an issue. Back then, big wings was, that was a common thing. Vents on the front, common thing. We need to make sure that the brakes, radiator, the oil cooler, everything needs to be cooled. And that's why the car has so many vents and big wing for downforce and extra fender flares and things like that. It was all, again, meant for a reason. Mitsubishi has gone, well, nowhere close to the company that they were before. But I can forgive them because they made cars like this, and cars like this just make you forget all the nonsense they're making right now.